Welcome back to Shijo Michael's economics class. In the previous chapter, we have learned about the features of developing countries. In that, one of the important feature was high population. So, in this chapter, we are going to discuss about the population and human resource development. Now, let us see what is population. Population is the total number of people living in an area. The total number of population in India means the total number of people living in India. Now let us see what are the advantages and disadvantages of population. For the population there are advantages are there, disadvantages are there. Now let us see what are the advantages. The first advantage is it is providing workforce. The main source of workforce is population. Now, it is the main source for market. That means market for all the goods, population is the main source. And it promotes innovative ideas. Population is the reason for promoting innovative ideas. Another thing is that high rate of population is there means in that population only there will be the division of labor. So division of labor is also a product of population. Now let us see what are the disadvantages of high population. They are the population creates a very high pressure on the resources. Population goes on increasing, the resources are fixed, so definitely there will be high pressure on the resources. Now it leads to unemployment. We have already learned about the unemployment also. So more population is there means it will be very difficult for them to provide job. Now another important disadvantages of population is that high expenditure on social overheads like hospitals, schools, roads, etc. The cost or expenditure on infrastructure facilities will be very high. Now, one of the important disadvantage of overpopulation is that increasing dependency. So, for anything there is positive aspects as well as the negative aspects. So, we have just learned what are the positive aspects of the population and what are the negative aspects of the population through advantages and disadvantages. Now let us study another important concept in this area, that is demography. Demography is the study of population statistics like birth rate, death rate, etc. Demography is the study of population statistics like birth rate, death rate, infant mortality rate, sex ratio, etc. Now let us study about the theory of demographic transition. Theory of demographic transition studies about the changes in the population growth.
The theory of demographic transition is based on the actual population trends of the advanced countries of the world. According to this theory, every country passes through three different stages of population growth. In the first stage, the birth rate and death rate are high and the growth rate of population is low. In the second stage, the birth rate remains stable but the death rate falls rapidly. As a result, the growth rate of population increases very swiftly. In the last stage, the birth rate starts falling and tends to equal to the death rate. The growth rate of the population is very low. Now let us discuss about the first stage of demographic transition. In this stage, the country is backward and is characterized by high birth and death rates. As a result, the growth rate of population is low and the people mostly live in rural areas and their main occupation is agriculture, which is also in the state of backwardness, and there are only few simple industries like small consumer goods industries, and the tertiary sector is underdeveloped, and so there is massive unemployment, and due to that there prevails massive poverty. So the big families are considered as necessary to support family income. The children are considered as assets. But there prevailed massive illiteracy as education was a burden to large families. These are some of the main important features of the first stage. In the second stage, the economy enters the phase of economic growth. All the three sectors start to develop, and so the factor mobility and education increases. As a result of development, people get more income that leads to the purchase of good nutritious food, and access to medical facilities also improve, that brings down the death rate. But the birth rate is not controlled due to the social and religious beliefs, and thus it leads to high growth rate of population, and it is often considered as the stage of population explosion. In the third stage, the fertility rate declines and tends to equal to the death rate, and so the growth rate of population declines. The expansion of education and technology dominates the thoughts of the society, and so the children are not considered as supplement to the family income. Men and women prefer to marry late and adopts family planning methods, as children are considered as liability. All these tend to reduce birth rates, which along with low death rate brings decline to the growth of population. We can compare these three stages with the development also. The first stage can be observed in the undeveloped countries, and the second stage can be seen in the developing countries, and finally the third stage can be seen in the developed countries.
Now, let us move to another very important topic, that is demographic trends in India. That means, what are the important changes in the population of India? In that, first point that we are going to learn is size of the population. And as we know that India is the second most populous country in the world after China. China is the most populous country in the world. Second rank goes to India with a high population. That means that every sixth person in the world is an Indian. Now, annual addition of India's population is equal to total population of Australia, or the combined population of two states in India, that is UP and Maharashtra, will equal the total population of USA. Now let us go through the census data, what it shows. In the year 1901, India's population was only 23.83 crores. In 1951, it increased to 36.11. And in 1961, it further increased to 43.92 crores. In 1981, it increased further to 68.33 crores. And in 2001, it increased and it crossed 100 crores and it reached 102.87 crores. And according to the latest census, that is 2011 census data, shows that India's population crossed 121.02 crores. Now let us move to the second point in demographic trends in India, that is the rate of growth. 1921, the year is considered as the Great Year of Divide. The year of Great Divide. That means that from that year onwards, India shifted towards the second stage of demographic transition. In that second stage only, the population explosion occurs. That means the population will increase at a very alarming rate. Very high rate of population will be there. So now let us see what is the population growth rate in India in different years. Here in this data, you can see the decadal growth rate as well as the annual growth rate for different years from 1951 to 2011. Here you can see 1951, the decadal growth rate was 13.31 only, and the annual growth rate was 1.25. In 1961, the decadal growth rate increased to 21.64%, and the annual growth rate also increased to 1.96. In 1971, the decadal growth rate increased to 24.80, and the annual growth rate also increased to 2.20. And in 1981, the decadal growth rate started decreasing trend that it decreased to 24.66 percentage, but the annual growth rate increased to 2.22%. In 1991, the decadal growth rate decreased to 23.87 and the annual growth rate decreased to 2.16. In 2001, it further decreased to 21.54 and the annual growth rate decreased to 1.97. According to 2011 census data, the decadal growth rate decreased to 17.64 percentage, whereas the annual growth rate is 1.64. Now let us move to the third point, that is birth rates and death rates. The birth rates means the number of births per thousand population. The same way, the death rate is also number of deaths per thousand population. Now, let us go through the data, census data. That is, in 1951, the birth rate was 39.9, whereas the death rate was 27.4. In 1981, the birth rate decreased to 33.9, whereas the death rate was 12.5. In 2001, the birth rate further decreased to 25.4, death rate decreased to 8.4. 2011, the birth rate was 21.8, whereas the death rate was 7.1. In 2012, the birth rate was 21.6 and the death rate was 7.0. What does this shows? Over the years, birth rate in India has fallen and death rate has also fallen. Among all the states, Kerala has the lowest birth rate and Bihar has the highest birth rate. West Bengal and Maharashtra have the lowest death rates and Odisha has the highest death rate. Now let us move to the fourth point, that is density of population. What is density of population? The density of population is nothing but the number of persons per square kilometer. That means the number of people living in a square kilometer is known as density of population. Now, what is the density of population in India? In 2011 census, the density of population in India is 382 persons per square kilometer. Now let us go through the census data and understand more about the density of population. In the year 1951, the density of population was 117. In 1981, it increased to 216. And in 2001, it increased to 325. And in 2011, it increased to 382. The density of population is not same for all the states. Kerala, West Bengal is having high density of population, that is 880 persons. Bihar is the state with the highest density of population with 1102 persons. Arunachal Pradesh is the state that is having lowest density of population, that is only 17%. The population density of Delhi, that is Union Territory actually, so that is 11,297, and Chandigarh, the population density is 9,252. Now let us move to the fifth point, that is sex ratio. What is sex ratio? Sex ratio refers to the number of females per 1,000 males. Now look into the table. This table gives sex ratio since independence. Female sex ratio has been declined. Here you can see in 1951 it was 946 and in 1981 it decreased to 934 and in 2001 further it decreased to 933, but in 2011 it increased to 940. What is the meaning of this table? 940 sex ratio means there are 940 females are there for 1000 males. Sex ratio is the most favorable to women in Kerala states. In Kerala, the sex ratio of females to males is 1084 as per 2011 census. Haryana has the lowest female sex ratio, that is 879 among the Indian states. So different states are having different sex ratios, and comparatively better sex ratio is shown in Kerala's details statistics only, and the all over India statistics also, it is lagging behind Kerala's sex ratio. Now let us move to the sixth point, that is life expectancy at birth. What is the meaning of life expectancy? That is the mean expectation of life at birth. Now let us go through census data. In 1951, the life expectancy at birth was 32.1. In 1981, it increased to 56 years. And in 1991, it increased to 59 years. 2001, it further increased to 63, and in 2011, it was 66 years. The life expectancy has improved over the years. Life expectancy at birth is the highest in Kerala, that is 71.4, and Madhya Pradesh is the lowest with 58 in 2006. Overall average was 66 years in 2011. This is the most important indicator in Human Development Index. You have already studied the Human Development Index in the 10th class. Just go through that also. So it is one of the most important portion of the Human Development Index. When compared to most of the developed countries, life expectancy in our country is very low. It is expected that female life expectancy is higher than males because of biologically females are stronger than males. Now let us see what is the seventh point, that is literacy ratio. What is literacy ratio? Literacy ratio is nothing but the number of literates as a percentage of total population. Here a table is given. In the table you can see the literacy ratio among males and females in India from 1951 to 2011. In 1951, total number of literates was 18.33%. In that, male percentage was 27.16 and the females were only 8.86%. 1961, literacy increased to 28.30% and the male literacy rate also increased to 40.40 and the female literacy rate was only 15.35. In 1971, total literacy rate was 34.45. In that, male literacy rate was 45.96 and the female literacy rate was 21.97. In 1981, the total literacy rate was 43.57. In that, the male literacy rate was 56.38% and the female literacy rate was only 29.76. In 1991, literacy rate increased to 52.21. The male literacy rate also increased to 64.13. Female literacy rate was 39.29. In 2001, the literacy rate in India was 64.83 and the male literacy rate was 75.26 and the female literacy rate was 63.67. And in 2011, the total literacy rate in India was 74.04% and the female literacy rate increased to 82.14%, whereas the female literacy rate was 65.46 only. The highest literacy rate is 94% in Kerala, that is about 88.7% in Goa and 82.34% in Maharashtra and 82.80% in Himachal Pradesh, 80.20% 0.09% in Tamil Nadu, 67.68% in UP, and 66.11% in Rajasthan, and 61.80% in Bihar, which is the lowest literacy ratio in India. Now let us go through the world population. It took millions of years for the world population to reach 100 crores and marked by around 1830. The world population doubled 200 crores in another 100 years by the year 1930. And then it took just 35 years to add another 100 crores to touch 300 crores around in the year 1960. By 1974, that is in 14 years, the population increased to 400 crores, and then it took only 13 years to reach 500 crores mark in 1987. The world population crossed 600 crores in 1999, that is in 12 years. It was 700 crores by October 31st, 2011, and now it estimated to be around 7.3 billion. The momentum created by the unprecedented of the last half century will carry the world population towards the 9th billion, that is 900 crores, probably within the next 3 to 4 decades. By 2050, the world population to be around 9.20 billion. Around 98% of the world population growth will be in developing countries. You can see this data in the table given, and here in this table you can see top 10 populous countries in the world. The number one rank goes to China with 134 crores of population, that accounts 80.9% of world population. Second rank is that of India with 121 crores of population, which accounts 17.5% of world population. Third most populous country in the world is United States with 31 crores of population, that accounts 4.43% of world's population. The fourth country in the list is Indonesia with 23 crores of population, that accounts 3.53% of world's population. On the fifth position it is Brazil with 19 crores of population, and sixth place it is Pakistan with 17 crores of population, and seventh position it is Nigeria with 16 crores of population, and on the eighth position it is Bangladesh with 15 crores of population, and ninth place it is Russia with 14 crores of population, and on the 10th position it is Japan with 12 crores of population.